Out in the middle of the icy Chukchi Sea, something strange broke the rhythm of the waves. Dr. Mason Reeves squinted through the fog from the deck of his research vessel, expecting a chunk of ice or maybe a curious whale. But nope, it was something else entirely. A massive brown animal paddling slowly through the open ocean, 135 miles from land. And the craziest part? It was a bear. Now let that sink in. A bear, in the middle of nowhere. Salt water crashing all around him. No ice, no land, no food. Just miles and miles of cold, endless blue. The crew didn't speak at first, they just stared, jaws open, hearts racing, wondering how the hell this story was even real. Nature doesn't usually hand you a mystery like this. As they got closer, it became obvious. This wasn't a case of wrong place, wrong time. This bear wasn't lost. He was focused. Tired, sure, but determined, like he had a destination in mind. And honestly, that shook them. You expect instinct in wild animals, but this looked like a mission. The boat drifted alongside the bear and everyone scrambled into action. Cameras rolled, drones launched, voices buzzed on radios. It wasn't just about getting footage. This might be a rescue. But no one had ever trained for something like this. This wasn't a stranded dog on a highway. This was raw survival, nature's version of a man overboard. And here's the kicker. The bear kept swimming. He didn't stop, didn't flinch. It was like he didn't even notice the humans. Or maybe he didn't care. That's when Dr. Reeves felt it. That deep, gut-level sense that this wasn't just another wildlife anomaly. This was the start of a story no one would believe, not until they saw it with their own eyes. From above, the drone's camera caught everything the human eye couldn't. The brown bear's fur clung to his body, soaked and tangled. His massive paws were torn up, raw, bleeding, cut open from miles of swimming. Thermal imaging lit him up in a pale blue. Hypothermia had already set in, and yet he swam like an animal that refused to quit. That kind of willpower isn't just instinct, it's purpose. Dr. Reeves had seen nature's brutality before, but never like this. The bear wasn't thrashing or panicking. He moved with rhythm, direction, like he knew exactly where he wanted to go. It was eerie, almost human. One crew member whispered, "It's like he's chasing something that's already gone." And here's where the rescue got complicated. You can pull a dog from a flooded house, sure. But how do you save a bear who won't stop swimming? Every time the boat edged closer, the bear veered away, stubborn and focused. They couldn't net him, couldn't tranquilize him without risk. So they followed, quietly, respectfully, hoping he'd let them in. Meanwhile, the ocean didn't care. The current was against him, the wind picking up. Time was running out. But still, stroke after stroke, he pushed forward. His eyes never shifted toward the boat. You could feel it. This wasn't just a story about survival. It was a message, and none of them could figure out what it meant yet. Sometimes the strongest signals come from silence. No roar, no cries for help. Just a lone swimmer in the Arctic void, forcing a team of experts to question everything they thought they knew about wild animals. And the further they followed, the clearer it became. This animal had already left the land behind. What he was heading toward, well, that changed everything. Back on the ship, the team dove into the data like detectives chasing a ghost. Ocean current models, satellite maps, ice flow charts, none of it made sense. There was no logical path for a brown animal to end up this far from land. He hadn't just drifted here. Something, or someone, pushed him out into the blue. And the closer they looked, the weirder it got. Satellite images told a different story. Massive ice sheets, once common in that area, had shattered weeks earlier. The patterns looked like a trail, a melting bridge that once connected sea to shore. The bear hadn't swum the entire 135 miles. He'd likely drifted on broken ice for days, clinging to the last remnants of his frozen home until they were gone. Then he swam. But here's where it gets wild. Dr. Reeve noticed something most people would miss. The bear's likely drift route dodged straight around offshore oil platforms. Somehow he avoided them, like he sensed the danger. Machines, noise, fuel leaks, things that disrupt migration, confuse marine life. Could a wild animal really navigate through all that? Apparently, yes. The theory forming in Reeves' mind was disturbing. This wasn't a lost bear. This was a dislocated one, pushed out by melting ice, steered away by drilling zones, left with no place to land. The climate data didn't just back it up, it screamed it. The Arctic map they once knew had holes in it now, and those holes were swallowing everything wild. The team couldn't shake the feeling. This wasn't just data anymore, it was a warning, one that came wrapped in salt water and fur. The bear wasn't a glitch in the system, he was the result of the system breaking. And as they pieced it all together, one question kept echoing. What was he still looking for? Even after being brought to safety, the bear refused to rest. He didn't curl up, didn't eat, didn't even glance at the humans. The rescue was supposed to be over, but he had other plans. Every chance he got, he moved toward the edge of the boat, eyes locked on the horizon, like a soldier who lost his mission, desperate to return to a war already lost. The crew watched in disbelief. He wasn't afraid of them, just uninterested, detached. There was no relief in his posture, no signs of comfort, just this eerie focus. So they did what scientists do. They observed, and what they saw shook them more than the swim ever did. This animal was tracing a line, a path across the sea, like he remembered something. Dr. Reeve overlaid the bear's movements with historical sea ice maps, and the match was haunting. The bear was trying to walk a route that had once been solid ice. He wasn't swimming aimlessly. He was following the ghosts of glaciers, trying to go home to a place that, quite literally, no longer existed. Think about that. Searching for land that had melted away. This wasn't instinct. This was memory. A kind of ancient knowledge passed down through generations of Arctic animals. The bear was acting out a map engraved, in his blood, only to find the lines erased. And in that moment, it stopped being a wildlife event. It became a story about loss, not just for one creature, but for an entire ecosystem vanishing under our noses. No one could explain it. Not really. How does a bear know where ice used to be? How does he keep following a map that nature deleted? The boat floated silently behind him, as if the team knew. This wasn't about saving a life anymore. It was about decoding a message. One final chapter still remained. He made it, barely. After days in freezing water, a shredded body, and the weight of a vanishing world on his back, the bear survived. But no one on that ship cheered. There was no victory in the air, no celebration, just silence. Because what this animal had endured wasn't just survival. It was a wake-up call. The footage went viral within hours. A lone brown bear, paddling through open ocean like some kind of Arctic ghost. News outlets scrambled for headlines, scientists gave interviews, and hashtags flooded social media. But underneath all that noise, one story cut through like a blade. We didn't just witness a wild animal in danger. We watched a world unraveling through his eyes. Dr. Reeve finalized the documentary weeks later, and the final scene? It wasn't a triumphant release or a hopeful ending. It was the bear, looking out over the water again, like he still wanted to go back. That's when Reeve said it, the line that left even the crew speechless. We didn't rescue the bear. He came to warn us. And that's the part people couldn't shake. This wasn't a freak accident or a one-in-a-million anomaly. It was a mirror held up to the planet, a silent messenger in fur and salt, carrying a truth we've tried to ignore for too long. The Arctic isn't just melting, it's speaking. The question is, are we listening? Because what started as an odd sighting became a global reckoning. One animal, one desperate swim, and suddenly, millions of people faced a terrifying question. What if nature's not confused? What if it's trying to get our attention? And maybe, just maybe, the message isn't finished yet. And now, let me ask you something. If a wild bear, injured, freezing, and alone, can cross a deadly sea chasing a memory of what once was, what are you doing with the strength you still have? What parts of your life are you swimming through just to find that the world around you has changed while you weren't looking? And more importantly, are you still searching for something that no longer exists? This isn't just a story about climate, it's a mirror for how we hold on to comfort zones, old dreams, safe routes, even when the ice beneath them has already melted. So what would happen if you let go? If you stopped swimming back and started moving forward toward something real? The truth is, nature isn't broken. It's responding. The only question is, are we? If this moved you in any way, take a second to drop a comment and tell me what this made you feel. And if you want more stories that go deeper than headlines and straight into the heart, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what's coming next.